In 1966, Poland celebrated 1,000 years of Christianity. In the United States, President Lyndon Johnson commemorated the event with a celebration and presentation in the White House Rose Garden. 3 representatives from Panna Maria, Felix Mika, Felix Snoga, and Father Anthony Matula were invited to the White House to receive a beautiful mosaic of Our Lady of Częstochowa by artist Jan E. Krantz. The icon was a gift to President Johnson, who asked that it be placed in Panna Maria's historic Immaculate Conception Church. The installation of the mosaic in the Immaculate Conception Church was a major event attended by Governor Connolly, Texas State Attorney General Wagoner Carr, President Johnson's daughter Lucy, and her husband Patrick Nugent. In San Antonio, Father Peter Colton had been promoting Polish culture for years. In 1966, he built a shrine to Our Lady of Częstochowa in San Antonio and invited the Seraphic Sisters, an order of nuns from Poland, to come to San Antonio and care for the shrine. The first sisters arrived in the 1970s.
We were invited by Father Peter Colton. 4 of us arrived in January 11, 1972, but we found it very different from Poland. We gradually, every day, we just kind of were learning how to adjust to this environment, and especially since we didn't know the language.
Father Colton reached out to Reverend Janta to help establish PAPA, the Polish American Priests Association, to foster the appreciation of Polish culture. They sought recognition for historically Polish Texas parishes and wanted these parishes to have priests familiar with Polish history, language, and culture. The Polish American Priests Association was officially organized in San Antonio, Texas in 1970. In 1990, PAPA, as the organization is known, decided to expand nationally. Texas sponsored the first national Polish American Priests Association convention held in San Antonio, with a side trip to Panna Maria.
Już od 4 lat, dobrych 4 lat.
I like this name a lot, this name Papa, because it means Pope, and here it means Polish American Priests Association.
For me, Panna Maria is a special place. Of course, it's the oldest Polish settlement in the United States. I appreciate and I'm grateful to the community that for many decades they kept the tradition, the faith, but also because of the priests who used to work here, especially one of the priests who became my mentor when I came from Poland here in '89, Father Bernard Gobul. He was in this parish priest for 20 years. He was, during Second World War, he was a prisoner of Dachau. His number was 22,805. He's buried here at the local cemetery. Very often I visit the cemetery and I pray at his grave. And there are beautiful words engraved on his tombstone, taken from the letter of St. Paul to Timothy. I have competed well, I have finished the race, I have kept the faith. I hope that I can follow his footsteps and somebody can put the same words on my tombstone, and I desire to be buried here in this beautiful community.
Father Gobel, supported by Father Janta and others, led the campaign to bring the remains of Father Leopold Maciejemba, Panna Maria's founder, back to Texas from Michigan. On the centennial of the Archdiocese of San Antonio in 1974, Father Maciejemba was reinterred in Panna Maria, under the same oak where he had offered a Mass of Thanksgiving on Christmas Eve in 1854.
The reinterment of Father Leopold in Panna Maria was a very, very special time, especially since we're so closely related. I can't begin to tell you how great an event it is, because we brought our founder back to Panna Maria, and he's at home here.
In 1994, under the same oak, Monsignor John W. Janta was consecrated as bishop. Newly ordained Father Scott Janasek recalled how his Polish heritage influenced his decision to study for the priesthood.
Panna Maria has always brought in a priest from Poland to come here, to be at this particular church. The way that they said the Mass, the joy that they had in with living out their faith and their vocation, I'd say that was one of the things that sparked me to have this idea. I feel honored because of the tradition that comes out of this area. Father Vieswa informed me that I am the 6th person to be ordained a priest out of this particular parish. This first Mass will be very memorable for me to be a part of it, and now I'm able to come back and celebrate Mass with their families and on their behalf in some way.
From its beginnings, Polish culture bears very clear Christian signs. Polish culture still flows with a broad stream of inspiration that have their source in the gospel. You are hearing these words from a man who owes his own spiritual formation, from the beginning, to Polish culture. Remain faithful to your heritage. Pope St. John Paul II, from a speech on Poland, June 3, 1979.